Minna-sama, honjitsu okoshi itadaki, arigato gozaimasu, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, on behalf of the Saudi Arabia Pavilion at Expo 2025 Osaka, it is an honor to welcome you to Theme Week 5, Gamification, Future Prospects. My name is Saleh Turkistani, and I will be your MC for today. Expo 2025 Osaka serves as a global platform for bringing together some of Saudi Arabia's forward-thinking leaders and institutions. Today, we have a lineup of expert speakers who will share their views, insights, dialogue, presentations, and a panel discussion on gaming and digital well-being, education technology, generative AI for smart and sustainable cities, and lifelong learning. To begin today's session, I'm delighted to invite on stage Engineer Adil Al-Faiz, the Pavilion Director of the Kingdom of the Saudi Arabia Pavilion.
Assalamu alaikum. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, good afternoon. On behalf of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia Pavilion, we are honored to welcome you to this theme week titled Learning and Playing, hosted in collaboration with Expo 2025 Osaka. Our session today, Gamification, Future Prospects, will discuss how cutting-edge technologies are reshaping educational methods, making learning more accessible, personalized, and impactful. We have an esteemed lineup of speakers from Sync, Digital Wellbeing, Roshn, Muzen AI, University of Tokyo, and SoftBank. Today's session will explore the role of gamification in shaping the cities of tomorrow, the empowerment of next generation of learners, and how the promotion of digital well-being and technologies play a role in education. I hope you enjoyed the dialogue today, and I would like to invite you to visit the Saudi Arabia Pavilion after today's event. As you walk through our pavilion, you will witness Saudi Arabia's culture, vision, and transformation firsthand. Thank you again for your presence here, and enjoy the event. Shukran.
Thank you, Engineer Adil Al-Faiz. Our first presenter is Mr. Yazid Al-Ghamdi. Mr. Al-Ghamdi is the Director of Emerging Technologies at Roshn, a national real estate developer powered by the Public Investment Fund and leading the transformation of urban living in Saudi Arabia. Mr. Al-Ghamdi is specialized in digital transformation and strategy. His presentation today will highlight the role of Vision 2030 and the drive of the digital and AI transformation. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Al-Ghamdi to the stage.
Assalamu alaikum, and hello everybody. So just before we shed some light on enabling smart communities and engage citizens through play, I just want to give you guys a brief of what is the role of Roshn Group today in the society, in the part of Saudi Arabia and the Vision 2030. So Roshn Group was created based on mandates that follows the Saudi Vision 2030. One is to raise the quality of life, and another one to raise the home ownership. And then technology came in as one of the main pillars for Roshn Group. And what do we do with technologies and gamifications? And why are we doing gamifications now? So basically, we've looked at multiple pillars at the moment. The global surge in gamifications, we're looking at healthcare, we're looking at sports, we're looking at the urban design, and so on. So technology and gamifications, we've seen the value where we can put them together. Also, we've seen the behavioral science, that the gamifications actually aligns with our goals and how we can take this digital science and motivation engagement into a habit for actually our community residents. And finally, we want to take gamifications as a serious tool to serve and connect people within the community. So if we look at basically the context of gamifications in the vision of 2030, so basically, we were focusing on 4 pillars. One is actually human development or human capabilities. How can we use AI to upskill our residents? So by 2030, we're going to have over 2.5 million residents live in our communities. We want to contribute back to the resident of our communities and how we can leverage on AI while they're living in our communities. Also, we're looking at smart city visions. Roshn Group today is building communities. Those communities are smart and part of the whole vision of the city. So we also want to make sure that we actually want to listen to the citizens and we get their feedback and then put it back into a gamified system. And third, we're looking at the quality of life. This is something that we're looking in terms of wellness. So we have public facilities, we have sport facilities with our communities. And when we look into this, we want to see how we can gamify those facilities. So for example, we have a soccer match every week, and we have volleyball. And recently we opened a paddle court. So you attending those activities, actually you gain points on our platform, which we have a super app for people to join and collect those points. This is an example of basically what we're doing at the moment within the community. So for example, if we look at the first one, is a smart community engagement. Today, through the super app, you can be engaged with the community resident within your family through wellness and health. For example, we have recycling systems where once you recycle, you'll be able to connect and actually collect more points. Those points can be transformed into our community retails where you can buy and get awarded for the points that you select. Second thing is Roshn Hackathon. This is one of the first prop tech events in the region where we actually brought people from 12 different countries, over 200 people participating over a period of 4 days in the Cityscape Global event, where we have over 200 ideas. And those ideas are actually taken back from this hackathon gamified version back into our communities and our super app where we translate it. And finally, we have a lifestyle ecosystem. And this is where we actually gamify everything from home management to actually retails and so on. So today, your homes are actually connected to IoT devices. And this is managed through the super app as well. And just to give you guys a glimpse of an example of what it looks like. So this is the dashboard that today we have in the community. It covers 4 parts. So the first one is a recycling champion. For example, we have Sarah, who actually recycles the most in the community, and she collects more points. So the more you collect points, you become higher in the dashboards, and you can translate those points into actually awards, into financial things, basically. And we're looking at community-driven champion. So basically, this is the most person to attend events, who's attending sport events, who's walking the most within the community. Third is a feedback champion who's always connecting with our customers, or basically our customers connecting with us through the app, where they are giving us feedback and we're improving. And finally is a service request champion. This is who actually been engaged in the public realm, where they have reported a lot of cases to make sure that our public realms are safe and healthy for everybody. This is one of the cases that I want to shed some light on, is a smart waste management solution that we've embedded into our community and within the super app. So this case wasn't educational at the beginning, basically for the children. And we've seen actually it was one of the most used services within our app. So we've translated the service. Now it's not only being used by the children, by the adults in the household. So basically today, what you can do using our app, you can scan any item and basically will tell you what type of item is this and how can you recycle it. Because Roshn homes are equipped with different bins, basically from like glass, from food waste and plastic. So basically using this tool will tell you how you can put it in which bin. And also while we implemented this tool, we leveraged on doing an AI component for the route optimization, and where we put sensors inside those bins. So today, Roshn Homes bins, they have sensors on the capacity and how full is it. So basically the driver every morning, when they turn on their app, they know what route to take and what home to stop at based on the capacity of those bins. So if we look, this is Roshn Hackathon. It's actually one of the largest prop tech gamified hackathons in the region, which is sponsored by the Ministry of Housing under His Excellency the Minister. Where you can see last year we've had over 205 ideas. And I'm just going to give you an example of one of those ideas. One of the ideas was, because today you can buy your home online when you come to Roshn. So one of the participants and winners actually, they came up with an idea where you can actually select and buy furnitures before you move in. So those ideas were taken, integrated into our community, and translated into the whole platform. So today we're not only doing this and we're awarding them with a financial prize, but we're using their solution into an actual system and platform. While we do all this and building a whole super app, we're looking at use cases and global use cases, basically. We've looked at Tokyo urban navigation, we've looked at Singapore, and finally Dubai. So basically we've seen what those apps are using at the moment and what is the most used features, and we're translating this into our app to be used. So the whole future gamification is for smart communities. What are we looking at and what are we focusing on as Roshn? As a group today that we're serving multiple sectors. We're looking at AI and gamifications. We're trying to create a personalized journey. So what I'm talking about here, basically we have a feature on the app where you can submit a feedback as a child, as an adult, where you can tell us how you want the gamifications to be. And it takes us about 2 to 4 weeks where we translate this idea and we build the game on the app. So today, we're not only building the app, we're collecting feedback from the community residents, and we're translating this into our super app. Also, we're looking at the metaverse and the gamified real estate. So today, while you buy your home, there's a journey. So this journey where you can go see the community, you can look into your residents, you can look at the neighbors, and you can connect with them. We've built a metaverse environment where you can walk in the community, know your neighbors, and connect with the facilities. And also, we're not forgetting about ESG. So the example that I've put in terms of the smart recycling, that's one example. We have a tree house where you can go and plant trees back to the community. So this is an example that we're looking to meet our KPIs while putting a gamified version of it. And finally, we want to make sure that there's governance to the platform. So today, every household and every parent, they do have access on what their kids or their children are actually watching and playing on the app. So that it's more controlled and there's a policy to it. And finally, what is Roshn's game as a lifestyle changer for the Vision 2030? We're trying to be more engaged, more aware, and more active in the communities through gamifications. And finally, we're not only an infrastructure company, we're actually trying to be a digital-first real estate entity that actually just focuses on an infrastructure but behavior as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Al-Ghamdi, for this insightful presentation. Our next presenter is Dr. Anwar Salam Khan, Engineering Manager at SoftBank. Dr. Khan is an expert in building intelligent learning platforms that combine AI agent tutors, gamification, and knowledge maps, aiming to personalize education and empower youth independence. His presentation is titled Gamification and AI, Empowering the Next Generation of Learners. Dr. Khan, the floor is yours.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. How are you all doing? So it's really very hot outside today. Please do not forget to drink lots of water. So our previous presenter actually gave a very interesting example how AI and gamification can actually change and engage users to do different things by rewarding, by giving points and real life points as well. So today I will be talking about how gamification and AI can change and revolutionize the education in the future. So first of all, I will be talking about Ikigai. How many of you know the concept Ikigai? Can you raise your hand? Okay, many of you know. So as some of you may not know, I will introduce the concept briefly, but to understand this concept, you need to understand this diagram. So here, as you can see, that in this world, if you actually love something, if there is something that you love, that is, if you love something and what you are good at, that is called passion. I'm sorry, the pointer, okay, the pointer I cannot show, but, okay. So if you love something and the world needs it, that is called your mission. And if you love something and what you are good at and what the world needs and what you can be paid for, that is the ikigai. So ikigai is a very unique concept in that sense. So you have to be very passionate about how that should be your mission, that should be your profession, and all combining that is ikigai. That is the purpose of life. So in brief, ikigai is a Japanese concept that means a purpose to live. So in AI agents, with gamification and project-based learning, it can help every learner discover their own ikigai. Okay, let me share my personal learning journey, that how I found my own ikigai, which is building AI. So when I was a small kid in high school, I loved playing games, and I loved playing games so much that I wanted to build games by myself. So for doing that, I discovered I have to learn programming. So in that era of Windows 95, the internet is just dial-up. It's very hard, not enough resources. So I learned from books, I learned from very few tutorials, and I started learning programming to make small games. So that's how I built up the skill of programming. And that time, I faced a challenge. So I'm from Bangladesh, and in that time, Unicode just added Bengali language support, but there was no writing system to support Bengali language. So I developed the Akkor first Bangla word processor, which supported Unicode, and the purpose was to, you can phonetically type without memorizing any keyboard layout. So it was the first such system, and because of developing that in such a young age, I got many awards, and local media covered it just to show me that an example to inspire the next generation. So I found my passion from gaming to a real-life challenge, that is making computer understand the language. So I also like Doraemon. So in Japan, many of you know that Doraemon has a gadget which calls Honiaku Koniaku. If you eat the koniaku, you can understand world's languages. So that's the machine translation. So I came to Japan, I received the Japanese government scholarship, and in the Tokyo University of Electrocommunications, I did my PhD on machine translation. So after graduating from there, I joined Google, where I had the unique opportunity to help work with different Google product teams like Google Translate, Google Text-to-Speech, voice recognition to add Bangla language. That was my core passion, right? So I was the luckiest guy that Google chose me to do that. So after that, I was working with IBM Research Tokyo, where I was working with developing conversational AI for robots. So throughout this journey, I found my ikigai. That's why I shared that throughout this way, we can also find your ikigai as well. So now in SoftBank, we have this project X-Cross Recipe, where you can actually find different kind of learning recipes, like just tutorials, step-by-step guideline. If you want to build AI chatbot or any tool, you can actually see that so in the AI recipes, if you want to, for example, expert AI engineers will be writing the recipes, and the learners can learn those from recipes. And we developed a knowledge map where, we developed the knowledge map where the AI system can suggest which recipes you should learn. So now I will share the concept of Ikigai project. The overall concept of Ikigai project is that let the students do the project of their passion. So students begin with exploration because they have that passion, they have that curiosity, so they will do whatever you need. So, and if there is an AI agent which guides them to solve those challenges, they will grow and they will learn new skills. In this manner, they will create something new, and that is real world impact. And that can be the purpose, that can serve the purpose of someone's life. So I believe the future of education is like that. So we have to reinvent education from designing from the purpose first education perspective. So education shifts from the content delivery to personal discovery, and AI can help exactly in that. How? Because currently generative AI can personalize any content based on your domain knowledge. So for example, in Expo's recipe, we have the personal history for each users, what kind of recipes they have, what kind of domains you have. You can be from business domain, you can be from engineers domain. So if you want to learn something new, so for example, you want to build a chatbot or you want to build a computer vision system, so how to guide you, the AI system will know your background and suggest the recipes based on that. The future of learning, I believe, is personalized, playful, and purpose-driven. And AI agents can personalize this journey and help the users for learning. So I would like to conclude with this message that let's learn to live with purpose. So together, through AI, gamification, and lifelong learning, from Riyadh to Osaka, let's create a future where learning is purposeful and joyful. Let us build a world where every child wakes up excited to learn and to live with a purpose. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Khan. Our next presenter is Professor Norito Kawakami. Professor Kawakami is a professor of digital mental health at the Graduate School of Medicine, University of Tokyo, and the president of the Jumpukai Foundation, an occupational service organization. Professor Kawakami has published over 450 research papers and received many awards from various institutions, such as the Japan Medical Association, Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, and received the Medal with Purple Ribbon from the Emperor of Japan. Please join me in welcoming Professor Kawakami to the stage.
Thank you very much. Very kind introduction, and I'm very honored to be here to speak about the next generation of learning and playing in this theme week 5. I deeply appreciate the organizer of this event for their kind invitation. I'm already very much impressed by the presentations made by the previous speakers, Mr. Gamdi and also the Dr. Khan. I do agree the gamification and AI would bring a great advancement in lifelong learning. I have over 40 years of experience conducting research in the field of mental health, where lifelong learning of skills to enhance psychological resilience is recognized as very important for preventing mental health problems and promoting people's well-being. So I will introduce our previous work applying the gamification and AI, and also discuss its future. The history of applying gamification and AI to enhance psychological resilience probably began in the late 1990s. A landmark study found that just reading a book about the psychological resilience skills, such as cognitive behavioral skills, was as effective as face-to-face counseling in improving the mental health. So this approach is called bibliotherapy. Then researchers gradually applied gamification to this approach. We self-developed card games and board games to teach resilience skills, achieving high user participation. People very much enjoy our products. Notable achievement in online games was made by researchers in New Zealand that's called Sparks. Sparks is a role-playing PC game that aims to reduce depression among adolescents. Users of the Sparks choose an avatar and embark on a journey to complete the quest, restore the world balance, and defeat the negative thoughts. The users acquire different mental health skills at each stage. This program has been proven effective in a scientific manner. Our team also developed a smartphone game that successfully improved non-cognitive skills of users, such as self-control or communication, by focusing on the cognitive and mindfulness skills. Our team also showed that the popular smartphone game Pokemon Go improves our mental health by chance. The application of AI in this field is a more recent development. However, an increased number of researchers are publishing papers on this topic. We also used an AI prediction model to help users learn stress management skills. This program was found more effective at reducing depression than the usual programs. Recently, large language models such as ChatGPT have been used in the mental health program, and they are very successful. Then combining the gamification and AI to enhance psychological resilience may be very promising, although there have only been a few efforts thus far. So let me consider such a next step, combining gamification and AI to enhance the psychological resilience may lead to greater user engagement and also improved effectiveness. I will explain some reasons why I think so. The gamification process includes many psychological components, such as motivation and also behavior shaping component. For instance, some people may be motivated to explore new things, while other people may be motivated to receive approval from others. If AI can identify and optimize different motivational cues of users, it would help users to start quicker and maintain longer the program. Also, it is known that the learning behaviors are reinforced by providing a reward, such as a point, feedback for those behaviors. This is a very basic general rule of animals and humans. However, some people are very short-tempered, so they quickly learn, but they would stop earlier. Others are starting very slow, but learn for a longer period of time. So timing of the reward needs to be customized to individual differences. So learning may be more engaged and effective if AI identifies the time preference of individual users and adjusts the timing accordingly. On the other hand, there may be a downside. So AI may provide social reward, such as praise by pretending to be a real person. This could spill over into real life, leading users to confuse real and fake social interactions. The behavior shaping process can also a mechanism leading to the addictive use. When rewards were given to the users every time, they exhibited expected behavior, and then when the reward stopped, the shaped behavior will diminish very soon. That's the basic rule. But if you give users a reward when they perform a certain behavior with a random latency period, well, that means sometimes immediately and sometimes later. So in this pattern, the behaviors will not diminish soon after the reward is stopped. This psychological mechanism is used in popular gambling games, such as slot machines and the pachinko games. If the AI identifies this approach as effective in encouraging continuing learning, users' behavior may become unconsciously controlled, putting them at risk of overuse and addiction to the learning system. Well, at the end, I am still very optimistic about the future of gamification and AI application in learning. However, we should be careful about the misuse and its potential adverse effect. We should control this technology as well as other AI-based technologies to promote human beings. Thank you very much. That's all from me.
Mr. Kawakami, arigato gozaimashita. We now turn to our next session, a dialogue by Sync Digital Aramco King Abdulaziz Center for World Culture, ITHRA, in Dhahran, Saudi Arabia. Sync is a digital well-being initiative that aims to raise awareness through translating research-based understanding of the amplification of technology in our lives into audience-friendly materials and tools with a vision to create a world where we are all in control of our digital lives. Our speakers for this dialogue are Dr. Melissa Valle and Dr. Ma'moon Rashid. Dr. Melissa Valle is a psychologist at Sync Digital Wellbeing at King Abdulaziz Center for World Culture. Dr. Valle is a recipient of American Psychology Association Achievement Award and Excellence of International Research. And Dr. Ma'moon Rashid, an esteemed data scientist at Sync Digital Aramco. Dr. Rashid's academic journey culminated with a PhD from the prestigious CERN in collaboration with the University of Kent. As a senior research specialist, his research is groundbreaking in discovering new facts that contribute to cross-cultural digital well-being. Please welcome to the stage also our moderator, Mr. Sho Sato, is the CEO of Lodimus Inc., leading specialist group of international expansion for games industries. He is the co-founder and secretary general at IGI, the only game incubation program in Japan, and the advisor for the SOFU Game Accelerator by Ministry of Economy in Japan. Dr. Melissa Valle and Dr. Ma'moon Rashid, over to you.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Hi, thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. So I think you all kind of know us, and what we'll be discussing next few minutes, it's actually just not about me, just not about you, it's about everyone. So I'm not going to ask your name and everything. Raise your hand if you have any children. Raise your other hand if you have more than one children. Interesting, you are in the right room. So something we'll touch on and discuss, not having my data scientist hat on, it's more about being a parent. So if I ask you, let's say you are going to find something interesting for your children, what do you do? It will be possibly be games. And then how do you do that? There is only two major places to go. One is the maybe Apple App Store or Google Play Store. we'll deep dive into a bit more into those, what we did and what we are doing on that. Before that, actually, we do much more than just gaming, research, and other things. So I will start with a small video, and we'll take you journey to the next level.
Improving access to health and education, redefining the future of work, reshaping society. Yet, the benefits of emerging technologies are all around us. Digital systems and artificial intelligence have been enhancing human capabilities and driving economic progress increasingly. But at what cost? Convenience over privacy, amplification of bias, epidemics of misinformation, cultural homogenization. In a world where digital is displacing the physical, too many are being left behind. The key lies in crafting a balance where digital and physical experiences coexist in harmony. How can we help ensure the digital well-being of those newly connected to the online world? Sync by ITHRA embraces the global challenge of digital well-being, encouraging balanced relationships with tech. Our goal? Empower digital thriving for all. Through our Global Digital Wellbeing Index, we measure and explore perceptions of technology's impact across 35 nations. Our extensive survey reveals how digital habits shape lives, and our explorations of gaming and social media highlight the benefits and risks associated with online leisure activities. We bring these insights to life through our summits, where we negotiate the future of responsible tech, while our Sync retreats support people to rediscover digital balance in our hyper-connected digital world. Tech is a force for social good, but only when we anchor it in human values. At Sync, we're advocates for technology that understands boundaries, fosters connection, and lifts everyone up. There is no well-being without digital well-being.
We quickly realized that technology is everywhere in our life. So there was no way to escape. Now the question is, how do we take advantage from technology? How do we not let it hinder our lives? So we came up with digital well-being. When we talk about digital well-being, we are talking about the physical health, our social health, and our mental health. How well is it balanced? How well can we capture those opportunities? Now, we see some children in the audience. Can you raise your hands? All right. The reason that we do this research around the world is for you, for the children, because you are our next generation. We need to make sure that you're as healthy as possible. So this leads to our global research.
Thank you. And we've been doing this. We're not new in this industry, and we are not just based in Saudi. This is more of a global study. I think we do the world's largest digital well-being study, and we cover around 35 countries and took around 35,000 samples from across the world and try to understand. While we were doing this, we thought, if you are doing something for more than 3-4 years, you know enough. But then we realized digital well-being may sound like the two words coming together, but actually it's much more than that. Every decision we take, everything we do every day, every choice you make, there is an element of digital well-being. Whether you see it or you don't see it, that's a challenge. But one thing I would also say, something is, you need a distance to see something. If it is too close, you don't actually see it. We feel digital well-being something like that, and this is where we try to look into digital well-being from 12 different pillars. And these pillars are then divided into the two categories. One we say balancing needs, other one is the capturing opportunities. And they are all interlinked when it comes to digital well-being. So, but again, in our gaming study, we don't need to touch on all the aspect of this entire ecosystem. We really touched on those 5 items that you are seeing on the screen. So I will start with the social cohesion. So especially it is about when you don't see what your children see and you don't see what your children does. And this is mostly about their screen time. This is mostly about the time they are spending with someone else or gaming. So you don't see those connections or networks or the communication he or she is having. But at the same time, so we feel this is very important as a research institute, as a global initiative to understand, to have a very deeper understanding of those if we want to protect those.
For mental health, we focused on what's not tangible, what you can't touch, the emotions, the feelings. When we look at the ed tech gaming, we want to see, is it helping with loneliness of the children? Are friendships able to be built? Do they feel a self-belongingness? Can gaming actually do this? So we ask these questions in our research. The other one, which you don't really think about, and we didn't highlight it here, it's a trick question, is physical health. You're sitting, you're gaming. Well, for the most part, you're sitting. How can that be physical health? Is it really helping? Is it not? Actually, some of the games our research shows is improving your physical health because you're active. Some of the games you're actually moving along with the games. Then others, some parents, for instance, that you guys have raised your hands as parents. How many of you are afraid that your child isn't sleeping? Yes? No? Maybe? Are they gaming too much? Are they gaming too little? So there's that balance question we look at.
And with that, we're also looking into another interesting thing. I think if, let's say, 6 in the morning, your son or daughter wakes up, you give them an iPad or ask them to go to school. I think, I don't know all the cultural perspective. I believe most of them will say, okay, give me the iPad, I will do whatever I like. And then what it comes to, it's about what is he or she is doing with that thing. What information you are giving to him or her. It's not about, let's not compare the school or not school scenarios, but in general scenario. So we feel the quality of information, quality of things children have now access to is very important. That is why we as a think, we put one of the strongest pillar on the balancing needs is the information quality. We want to make sure, we want to at least improve or create awareness that what we are putting on the screen, that is right thing we want our kids to be seen or other way around.
Absolutely. One of the interesting statistics, research, we have to talk about it. In the World Health Report of this year, the #1 crisis around the world, what do you think it was? It wasn't famine, it's not water, scarcity of water. It's misinformation. It's alarming. Is the content online real? Is it giving you the right information? Then, once we focus on balancing our needs, we move to let's capture all the opportunities we have in everyday life.
So on this one of the important pillar we had is, we call it social connectiveness, which has some sort of correlation or dependency on the social cohesion too. So it's basically about our ignorance or our not knowing where they're connected, what culture of people they're connecting, what kind of information they are sharing, and what kind of experience actually the next generation of children is getting. So this is something we want to put some focus on. And just to add one more thing, this is not an, the just think only initiative. We cover lots of other stakeholders from the different universities, different government entities, UN entities, different people from the tech industries. So this is where we kind of think maybe to understand where the social connectivity and the connections taking us and the next generation too was very, very important for us too.
And lastly, when we look at ed tech, we want to make sure that it provides education and growth of skills for all ages and for all ability levels. One of our favorite opportunities here is to access those who do not have education. They have zero education. Then we want to make sure they get quality education. And Something else we focus on is ability levels. Education technology allows you to work with different children of different ability levels. And actually, once again, it's not only children, it's anyone who wants to game. All right, we're going to take you now to our case study.
Okay, so obviously, many of you may know, I'm sure that a lot of the people in the room has very keen on understanding gaming. And by number, there are, sorry.
There you go.
Okay, so by number, as you know, there are 3.2 billion registered gamers. So I'm not saying 3.2 billion in numbers. I might have 3, 4, and that's how it's calculated. The message here is it's nearly half of the population, and if half of the world population wants to do something, you cannot potentially say half of the population is doing wrong. If half of the population say they are doing wrong, then how do you know the other half is right? So it's kind of a very big question now. Maybe rather than, as you see in the slide before, we talked about the challenges and opportunities. So rather than seeing gaming as a threat, challenge, how do you see as an opportunity? And this is where we want to make sure that gaming industry or the gaming application or gaming designers, they are doing the right considerations they need to make before that game reach any of the children that we have. It's not just people in the room, anywhere in the world. So obviously, I think there are more than millions of games available on the Google Play or Apple Store. But funny enough, Google or Apple, they are not the developer of those games. This is done by you, me, or anywhere in the world, and you could just use that as a platform or the marketplace to sell it to the other customer. And a lot of the considerations they did not make before the claim, the developer claimed this is for learning, this is for maths, this is for physics. We wanted to deep dive on that. So what we did, we took 100 top reviewed, the top-ranked 5-star games from the Google Play. A study is currently undergoing to understand what they claim on those games. It's good for your learning, it's good for your 7 to 10 years old, it's good for your physics, it's good for math. But we are now, obviously we cannot do all the games, but we are taking the very good quality ones, what they claim to be good quality, and then checking them one by one, what they claim and what it does. Does it have any reference to that or not? Similar study done in Apple Store. McGill University did 100 applications, and 74 of them didn't have any reference or any proof that it actually improves the cognitive development or the learning development for the children.
So here we focused, when we're looking at all these gaming apps, which were a lot, when we left out, looking at 100 games, I never thought I would say this, but I got tired of playing games. It is long, and it's going through different criteria. It's difficult. So we focus on 4 criteria. The first one, gamification.
So the gamification is an interesting one. One thing we want to look into on this one, actually, the purpose of that application or the game is the kids will be playing game. We are trying to make sure it's not other way around. When I say other way around, I mean to say kids are playing game, not the game is playing with the kids. It may happen. There are evidences because of they are very young, their psychology is not matured enough as you and me possibly in the room. So we want to make sure that there is a good balance on not doing things. It shouldn't be done that way. Next.
Play-based learning principles. We don't want the child not to play. So how do we do this? We make sure that the app is focused on children. Not an adult, not an imaginary figure, but the child. How do we bring that natural essence of play into a game? Is it creative? Does it allow a child to discover? Does it make them question? When we're looking at the pedagogy of it, we want to focus on the cognitive development, their skill development. Are you able to adapt for whatever ability level the child is? So for some teachers, parents, or even psychologists in the field, anyone that has, for instance, a child that is a little bit slower in learning, learns differently, or they have a disability, let's say, is the game able to adapt to them so they're still able to learn? This is essential while still maintaining the child in them.
And another thing we also looked into very actively when we do that study, or when actually we're doing that study, I would rather say, it's more about the user experience and user interface, because a lot of the games designed in a way so that it's colorful, it's, in a way they can easily attract the young people. And really, I think that these are run by the commercial companies, and the more people they can attract, more children they can register, this is how they make money. So you are also looking into what kind of design aspects and interface or design factors they consider so that they can attract the students or the children they are targeting to. So these are the kind of few things we looked into or currently looking into our study.
Now, full disclosure, it's hard to take a game and see, is this content real? Is it giving the right information? Is it creative? So a couple of years ago, I had no idea anything about AI, VR, gaming, nothing. I grew up in a society and a generation that I didn't even have a TV in my house, flip phone. I still don't have all the apps on my phone. So what do? I had to learn. I had to learn because I wanted children to learn. So I had to become a teacher. So teaching for educators, it's two-way learning. So I allow children to teach me, and then I can teach them. We learn from each other. There's no right or wrong answer. Game designers, they can have a playbook and they use the right principles, international best practices. As Mamoon was saying earlier, a lot of Sync's work is with others because we learn from others. We collaborate, we bring new designs together as well. And a parent. So I haven't been blessed with being a parent, but Mamoon has. And Mamoon, tell us how it is being a parent and you're trying to select the best at a game.
I think if I take it's not just, I would say, my experience with a lot of friends and family members I know. I mean, they're kind of, I wouldn't say handicapped, but they're kind of not given any options apart from binary. Either you give it to them or you do not give it to them, but you don't understand the line between. The whole purpose of this study is basically, it's not just for the people in the room. Actually, it's more globally or across the world. Before you give that to your children, before you give it to someone, do you know what you are giving to them? Possibly you don't. And I feel you might think game is a game. Game is not a game. Game is much more than game, actually. What you don't see, what you play with. So what you are trying to create some awareness through this, basically, I don't feel it's right to ask parents to do all this, the 10 different checks before they give it to their children. I think something needs to come together with the industry, with the policymaker, with the parents, with the children, so that they know what they are, hooking up to and what they are using, thinking this is the best, this is the good or bad. Currently, I mean, if I speak or share my experience, currently, even I don't have a platform, I don't have anywhere to go, I don't have anywhere to check those. So as there is a gap, we thought as a research institute, as a Sync, why don't we do something about it? Because if we don't, then someone needs to come, it will be just another day. So this is why actually we pulled the people from the gaming industry, obviously we are involved, then people from the different universities, different part of the world, even parents. We are kind of doing it together. The whole idea is to pulling it together. It's bring the society together, bring an ecosystem together. So whatever experience we had or my children even having now, we don't repeat the mistakes again if we think this is a repetitive problem. So this is why I think it's the research we're doing is not for the, obviously there will be publications and other things, but actually this is something filling a gap in the society.
And this is why we focus on two main SDG goals. The first one is partnerships. We've established and continue to establish partnerships around the world to learn from each other, and we continue to grow and build digital well-being. The other one, SDG goal number 4, quality education. So despite your age, your gender, your cultural background, your any demographic, your ability level, we want to make sure that you receive quality education. We want to make sure that we connect the unconnected.
And just to add one more thing on the quality education, I think, like I said before, if, you know, I don't think it's always right to not to let them to play with anything or give them the things they want to do. So whatever they are learning using those platforms or using the games, we need to make sure that quality is there. If there is a problem in this ecosystem, then we really have a problem that will possibly not affect us, but certainly it will affect our next generation. And I believe as a people in the room or whoever watching online, last thing you want to damage or last thing you want to destroy is your children or the next generation. So this is, this might, for us, it might be only 100 games, but trust me, there are millions. Yeah. And this is just a sample, and this is just a start point. This is where I think this is an open invitation for all of us to come together. I'm sure there are many parents are always welcome, but there are people in this room who are also very active in this area. So I think this is not a problem or a challenge we can solve or we can give you solutions. I think this solution needs to be designed and accepted by everyone in the room and beyond.
So part of our social movement, we call parents to start playing. Literally start playing these ed tech games, and we ask game designers to consider ethical designs.
So, like I said at the very beginning, this is not the only thing we do. We do a lot of the other things when it comes to digital well-being. It's about, we do a lot about the AI, we do a lot of study about the cybersecurity, we do a lot about the, Gen Z research, Gen Alpha, and I think you will find something in our entire ecosystem to connect us with. And this is an open invitation for us, for you to find more about us and connect and communicate with us. If there is anything we could do for you or you want to work with us collaboratively, and we think a platform like this, a venue like this is perfectly something we can all take advantage of. And I think this is an open invitation, and please do reach out to us, do join us wherever there is an opportunity to work together, or we can create the opportunity to work together too. Thank you, everyone, and thank you for listening to us.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mamoon and Dr. Melissa. So then the 会場の皆様の中から、今の、講演で何かご質問等はございますでしょうか。何かご質問があれば挙手をお願いします。
Anything at all?
Any questions?
Any questions?
Oh, there is 2 at a time.
Yeah.
Let me answer this. Please feel free to add. I think as we are working on this space, I think age is a very complicated thing. It's just a number. And we have seen, 65 years children and 13 years adult. So how do you actually define that age and the right game for you? And I'm not giving I think you wanted to a number, but I'm just telling you what is the complexity there. Because then you have the cultural factors, then you have the maturity factors. There are a lot of the things. But again, I think there are a lot of the countries are putting the kind of regulations together. For example, Australia has something and Canada has something. I think if I give you an answer now about, let's say, I say 13 to 18, that will be wrong. Rather than I give you a wrong answer, I'm just giving you the recipe that you need to consider if you want to choose what age or, when you should decide whether your children or whoever you love, like to have the games, whether they are game appropriate or not. But there are some references WHO also have, but the guideline is not there, but we're trying to build it all together.
I'll add two more things to this. Number one is looking at the curriculum of the school, and it varies between countries. For Saudi Arabia, we are slowly starting to implement digital well-being within the curriculum, and some does involve ed-tech gaming. We're looking at starting as early as early childhood development. In Japan, they are starting in early childhood development. They're implementing AI. You even have some robots going to some classrooms and teaching. They're also using, in Japan, remote learning. They're using technology for remote learning. So again, there is that cultural aspect and the resources that are available. Now, as a psychologist, I can say that I have used technology to help me with children that may not be able to communicate the same way that you and I are reciprocal, having a conversation, but yet I can use technology to maximize their potential, be able to communicate with them in a way that I couldn't do it as a person standing in front of them. And it is an immense level of happiness to see a parent be able to see their own child develop. And so we say don't put any limitations, try everything, and this is why we go back to digital well-being. Maintain that balance so you can capture all the opportunities.
And also add, one more point. If you are a parent, if you have children, you are possibly the best person knows when it's right time. It's not the school, it's not the authority, it's not the the national regulation or anything. I think this is where we put a lot of, I wouldn't say pressure, but a lot of considerations for the parents. You choose when you feel right. Otherwise, there is no one is as connected as you are with your children. So I think this is, at some point you will feel whether this is, and sometimes maybe even try doing something and then see that was not right or wrong. And anyone can set a standard, but I always say standard is for someone who don't know what to do. But if you are a parent, you should know, you should kind of think when is right. I think I would rather than having a standard following the the national age limit on those kind of thing, I would really invite and encourage parents to make that call, and maybe a standard should be actually taken from there rather than other way around.
I ask parents this question sometimes. I'm like, when's the last time you played with your child? Whether it was outside or it was playing, with technology. So we encourage you to actually interact with your child, observe, ask them. They'll tell you. Next question?
I think there was someone in the...
Sure. Quick one on.
Sure.
Oh, thank you. So there's been an increasing sort of support and appreciation for ed tech games in the mainstream. But previously it was more huge in the indie scene. I'm just wondering, are the large developers clued into this? Because we keep seeing ed tech related games winning great awards. Will there be more of a trend towards facilitating this? Will we see major, AAA releases of ed tech applicable games, in your opinion?
Thank you. I think, I'm just taking this because it's more of a regulatory and tech and that kind of thing. So we are currently having a lot of conversation with the industry and also online platforms. And signal we are getting, obviously, the problem is if you give them a recipe, they will tick all the boxes and they will say, okay, there you go. But then the beauty of that too, currently even you have that is missing. So currently it's kind of a World Wide West, and anyone could do anything, anyone can develop any game, and anyone can publish it any platform they like. So why I'm mentioning this, what we're doing, I cannot guarantee this is not absolute. It needs further improvement. It needs further regulatory, the deep dive into this. But at least we are thinking of maybe one list with the 12 items, and then if you click on that, and then we can look into the single item and go to deep dive into each of the item and see, what is this age appropriateness means, what is this, the good design means, and those kind of thing. But I agree with you. It needs much, much more than just, scratching the surface or understanding at the very high level. We need to go deep, and we are not even talking about the language. We are not talking about the culture. We are not talking about the tons of other things too. So maybe this is a starter. Those things will naturally come because of there are strings to all those. So it just we just started something. I think with everyone helps and engagement, we can get there. Thank you. So I take this one first.
My question is how to teach the parents to apply your knowledge, first one, and how to solve the gap between children and parents, because the children are digitally growth, but some parents are very far from the digital things.
I can start, then you're the psychologist. Okay. So I think one of the interesting thing, I'm taking the first part. You said, how do parenthood know about this you are doing? So, for example, when we did our second summit in Saudi Arabia, you will be surprised, 13,000 people came into the summit. And this is only one topic, digital well-being. So that is kind of a network. We will publish our report. That, we have not finished the study yet, but when we finish, it will be a publications, and we'll definitely do a lot of the media reporting. And obviously, we also have a huge network globally. We will also communicate with them. But there are, I think, maybe there will be some public media announcements too. So this will go. I mean, if the parents are experiencing this, if the parents have concern about this, I think they know the right network or right places, but we'll try to make sure that it reaches all the things we currently know and all the platforms we currently have access to. It's beyond the social media.
So along with our platforms, there's other organizations around the world as well that will have parent training, parent communities, and they talk to each other. So this still isn't answering your question, because you want, like, this is what you need to do, A, B, C. Perhaps a little bit easier, right? And unfortunately, there is no 1, 2, 3, like ABC. This works perfect, because every child is different. Every parent is different. Every style of parenting is different. The community, the ecosystem in itself varies from one place to the other. Literally, when I'm with parents, I do ask that question. When's the last time you played with your child? Interacting with your child, learning from your child is essential. Building that relationship, that physical engagement, communicating with them, it's key. Then you go to your ecosystem. Who are your family members most close with them? How are they engaging? What do they know? What can they bring to the table? For me, I went to my friend's children and I said, what are you doing? Let me see that app. Let's play together. And I asked children. Then I asked data scientists, what's this behind it? What's really going on? And it's unlimited what you can learn from other people. What we don't have a choice is to sit back and not learn, just to sit back and not have that voice. When you think something makes sense or it's working, you need to say it. Because whether you're a parent or a designer or a researcher, because together it's when we're going to be able to put that playbook together, for instance. Education, a long time ago, hundreds of years ago, people just stood around in a room and they're like, this is the best way to teach. We taught each other what a curriculum was. and how to maximize children's ability. This is kind of the same principle in a new generation, in a new era.
I think one slightly different perspective as we are talking about the games. I think I'm just maybe my Saudi colleague can correct me if I do something wrong, but actually we kind of take it to the different level. We see this is an challenge at the same time. This is an opportunity too. I think there is a whole city is being developed for the gaming.
Yeah.
So we are really, many of you thinking, oh, so you are kind of becoming police between the the children games and the industry. It's not like that. We're actually in favor of that. But what we are in more favor of is having that line, having that guideline, having that pathways to do it right. Otherwise, we don't want to be the last thing, as I said before, the last person you want to harm is your children. Yeah. So how do you protect those? So it's not an single nation or single house or single family dream. This is becoming a movement altogether. And this is why we are here, I think. And this is why, like you said, how do you take it to the parents? If that conversation even starts from this room, I think this is huge. This is big. Any good thing can start any single point or with a good people with a good mind.
The modeling, the role modeling.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
If I may, another question.
Yeah.
As a designer, how can I balance profitability with addiction? I don't want my games to be addicted. I don't want kids to be addicted, but then I want to make profit and I want to make money from the game. How do I balance this?
So you mean, are you now putting a hat as a game developer, or you are putting on a parent side? You are talking about if you are in the gaming.
Game developer. Yeah.
So I think how can I make more money? Possibly I can rob a bank, but can I rob a bank?
No, please no.
Possibly not. So what are the rules? So we are setting the rules. We are saying we are not stopping anyone being rich or being super rich or having all the monies in the world. What you are saying, do it right way. So there are rules we are setting. There are, and the study we are doing or the message we are putting together, it's not actually the game developer actually make very little of the game. It's the platform, is the people behind those stages is making much more than actually those developers are. So you might think, I want to be rich being a game developer. I'm not sure. That might be the way to do that too. But I feel there are the stakeholders you need to stick into. And like I said before, it's kind of we're putting a framework together. We're trying to put a framework together. We're putting some rules together. So if you want to be rich, not a problem, but make sure you do it right. That's all.
Do you have statistics about how many of those responded positively? And the same question I have for teachers, how many of them are playing with those students?
Most of the time they're not playing.
Okay.
They're in the same room, they're together, but they're not playing. At IFRA, we're a cultural institution. Throughout the years, it's been a beautiful journey as the country continues to transform. We've brought parents into our cultural institution with their child and brought play into their world. So we've environmentally, this is an example of what you were asking. We provide the creativity, the discovery. We're there with technology and also the old-fashioned play, right, that we had from outside or manipulative aids. And we model, but we also allow that space for error. Sometimes a parent is just afraid. They're like, ooh, I didn't play with my parent or my child, so my parents didn't play with me, so I'm not really sure what to do. Oh, maybe I did it wrong, maybe. So we just provide that, come, let's play environment. And that really, really has enriched the children's development and the environment as well. And that role model has continued to the community. You can see now more play spaces. And you want to make sure when we're talking about play spaces, they're also safe play spaces. Not only the physical, but also what you're giving to the child cognitively.
I think we are given signal not to take any more possibly.
Oh, sorry.
So what do you say?
Yeah. Okay. So then, thank you so much for all of your answers for the distinct questions. So yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
We are around if anyone wants to have a chat, but thank you everyone for joining us. It was really interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Melissa and Dr. Mamoon. For our panel discussion, next coming up, we would like to ask our speakers to join Mr. Sho Sato on the stage. Please welcome Dr. Fahad Al-Biyahi, Dr. Muhammad Al-Hussein, Professor Kawakami, and Mr. Yazid Al-Ghamdi.
So, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I'd like to thank you all for your time to come here today. And then I'd like to introduce each of the distinguished guests for each of them related to today's session, Gamification Future Prospects. Firstly, I'd like to welcome once more Mr. Yazid Al-Ghamdi, Director of the Emerging Technology at Roshn. And then also the Dr. Muhammad Al-Hussein, the founder and the CEO of the Mozen AI. Mozen is a pioneering AI company that specializes in developing advanced AI products and solutions. Mozen's cutting-edge technology empowers enterprises to make critical decisions by leveraging data-driven insights and innovative AI algorithms. And then also the Dr. Fahad Al-Biyahi, an expert in digital well-being and lead think research, overseeing landmark global research project and developed digital well-being workshops. And finally, I'd like to welcome again on the stage Professor Norito Kawakami again. So then let's start the first question. I'd like to start with Dr. Al-Hussein. If you can please share your thoughts on the lifelong learning and the usage of AI, gamification, and related technologies.
Absolutely. I think if we think about the future of learning and we take into consideration AI and gamification, I think they will have a massive impact moving forward. And here I would like to argue 2 points. The first is, if we think of the future of learning and how AI will affect it, we can think about how we go about learning in kind of regular classroom settings. There's a curriculum that's given by teachers to students, and that curriculum requires a bit of feedback that happens monthly, maybe annually. And the students, basically, we take a group of students and give them the same settings, the same teaching, the same curriculum, in the hope that it's general enough that it will apply to those students. What AI can do, and what AI is doing right now, it's adapting to every individual student's need and tailoring the learning process to that student's. And here, what we gain is something very personalized to the person. And the second is something that gives the student feedback in a very quick and easy way. So that's the first point. The second point is, if we think about gamification is really brings a lot of potential right now in the learning process because it talks in the language that our minds understand, which is motivation. And we've seen a lot of applications that have been developed in very critical areas, let's say in the health sector. For example, there's this company that developed an app that helps people with diabetes when it comes to making sure that they're adherent. So what it does is take this painful process of adherence, and through gamification, it gives the person the necessary motivation for them to actually make progress by tracking their progress, by getting the reinforcement that they're actually moving and improving.
Okay, thank you for your answers. So then the next question goes to the Professor Kawakami. I'd like to ask you about how do you work for, or how will you work for the gamification, such as the impact for gaming, or healthcare gaming, or educational gaming?
Okay, thank you very much. Our team in the University of Tokyo working with 15 companies to develop the digital mental health interventions. And some of these interventions use the gamification and the AI. However, research is important, but recently I feel we should consider how we conduct research and develop the products, and also how we bring the research out into the society. So first, I think we need to listen to the stakeholders when we do a research, or when we develop the programs and the services. Particularly, we have to listen to the vulnerable populations, like patients, people with the disability, and also the potential users and the people in the society. So these approaches called patient and public involvement. So I think we have to think about this. And also even when we develop an effective program, history shows that 80% of these products are never used in the real society. So we have to develop the strategy to bring our output or service into the society. So that's probably the second important point which we are working on. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. For the next question, go to Dr. Fahad. Dr. Fahad, Shing's global research highlighted both concerns and benefit related to the gaming. So could you share your thoughts on this?
Yeah, absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone. First, I like the questions that when you address both concerns and benefits, positives and negatives, and without any, I would say, biased negativity on gaming. Gaming is booming with millions of players, of gamers, and a screenshot of 2023. There are more than 3.8 billion gamers on this year, and the numbers is increasing every day across all the generations. It's not like what we think, it's only young children, it's also adults from our research. We conducted a global survey that is really massive, that my colleagues touch base on, that covers 35 countries and 35,000 participants. And gaming was one of the topics that we looked at, because it's really concerning and relating to our main topic, which is digital well-being. So one of these interesting facts that 77% of the people used online gaming for the past year. And they say that they has a positive impact on their life. 50% benefited from online gaming in building relationship and friendship. And they use the gaming social skills in maintaining their real life relationship. So it's, that's the benefits that from online gaming. And also the good picture about online gaming that we have and from our study, that 60% of the people, they spend the right time that they want to spend on online gaming, which show mindful and awareness However, the 40% who is spending more time or they want to spend more time, which is another indication of the problematic use of online gaming, like the behavioral addiction or dependency on the gaming, are 77% of them, they use it as a escape mechanism. And 50% they fail to quit gaming, which also give the other side or the negative side of online gaming as addictive or behavioral addictive. So with all of these, and we know and we have observed from our research, there is a growing concern over the problematic use of online gaming. But online gaming is not only one-dimensional. Also, our studies demonstrates positive impact on other domains. For example, educational gaming can help in enhancing and promoting cognitive thinking, planning, decision-making, multitasking, and can help attention span and focus, which is another, I think it's really another pandemic. Our attention span has reduced from 9% to from 12% to 8%. And this will continue with our engagements with the technology and excessive use. Also, from the other domains like healthcare industry is investing on gaming to improve patient education, especially for children, for diabetic patients, cancer patients. And they include gaming on the therapeutic and rehabilitative interventions for mental health, for motor skill developments. And most importantly, that what we have, I think all of us noticed during the pandemic is how gaming helped in sustaining peer engagements and cultivating the social skills of the gamers. They are building a new friendship, and they are building new communities. And building new communities is helping on the sense of belonging and social identity. 45% of our participants, they are proud to be called gamers, which give them this identity. And to be a gamer is a valued identity. And to be a Japanese gamer or a Saudi gamer, even this is more valued. Also, it helped in reducing the isolation during the forced curfew and lockdown during the pandemic, and prevent the or reduce the isolation and prevent the loneliness. Sync is promoting impactful gamification concept that based on research, and we are working with our partners to focus on the balancing the engagements with the healthy, safe, balanced, and ethical practices by applying this in our intervention strategy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So then we'd like to move to the topic more related to the sustainable cities and the generative AI. So then Mr. Yazid Al-Ghamdi, how do you see the role of AI and gamification in advancing innovation within sustainable cities, particularly in the enhancing citizen engagement or resource efficiency and long-term urban resilience?
I think so. So AI and gamifications, it's a major and powerful subject that we look into while we build our communities. Because when we do it, we try to create actually a lovable community, more efficient and more connected and engaged as well. So the smart waste management that I've highlighted in my presentation, this is a great example. Today, waste management is part of each community, each neighborhood, each city that we see. And how we translated this into a gamifications function does play a major role. Also, the greenhouse. Today, we're building over 7 communities in 7 regions. We're going to have over 2.5 million residents within those communities. What can we do? How can we give back in terms of sustainabilities and greenery? So we do have a greenhouse within each community. And what we've done there is basically we connected the app to the greenhouse where people can go visit the greenhouse, collect those trees, and bring them back to the community and plant them in the community. And basically you can track those trees over the cycle of their lives. And what we're trying to do here for our residents, our citizens, and to be more connected and more participating in the engagement rather than just being a beneficiary.
Thank you. So then the question go back again to the Dr. Fahad. How do you describe the latest condition of edtech scene in the world and in your region?
Thank you very much. That's a very interesting question. As we know that edtech is evolving rapidly locally and globally, especially with the immersive technology. And it has proven to be a transformative to 21st century education and learning, and the catalyst for the pedagogical change and engagements. With the integration of the modern technology in the educational system, with promoting the adopting of technology in classrooms, improving the infrastructure for virtual and hybrid learning, and having free online platforms and apps, and recently the AI learning platforms all helped teachers and students to harness and enjoy the technology in a way that they will have more of a convenient, affordable and accessible online learning, and more of advanced and deep learning that can help improving the learning experience and also promoting the educational outcome. From our research across 35 countries, we identified challenges that can be also transformed to opportunities. But these challenges, one of these challenges is the unequitable access to e-learning, especially with the underserved countries. Our research showed that high-income countries, they lead the advancements of digital and technology, AI, education in general, in the schools, especially with the accessible or their high accessibility to the internet in the schools. Where in the low-income countries, they still facing challenges in the inclusion of the digital technology learning in their schools, and also the unavailability of the internet in these schools, whether because of the affordability or the accessibility. So the second challenge is very obvious, and it's applied to all technology, which is the screen time, and it is really more important for learning, for educational technology topic, because of the long learning hours that the students will be exposed to, and that especially during the lack of the integrating the digital well-being on the curriculum of the schools. All of these is challenges is also opportunities by building and bridging the gap of a digital divide. Especially UN is working very hard toward this, and according to the Secretary General in 2018, that everyone should have affordable, safe access to the internet by 2030. So these opportunities, these challenges will be turned to opportunities. And in Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia is actively investing on the digital technology, educational technology, and helping to adopt the technology in the schools, and also enhancing the infrastructure of the virtual and e-learning, and that was very obvious during COVID-19 with the swift shift from the traditional education to online education during the pandemic. And also they have inspired by 2030 vision many organizations and many initiatives. One of these initiatives is the National Program for Educational Technology, and also the Saudi Digital Academy that offer online courses for students and teachers to promote digital skills. Also Mawhiba program, which is a program that discover talents and provide online training that is really advanced and deep learning to the students to increase their creativity. Sync also is looking at this and looking to these challenges and helping to overcome these challenges. And we are working with our partners like Johns Hopkins and other partners from local Ministry of Education to develop the curriculum of digital well-being to overcome I would say, the negative impact of the excessive time with placing a digital well-being elements on the curriculum, on the school curriculum.
Okay. So then I'd like to go to the next question to Dr. Al-Hussein. Dr. Al-Hussein, I'd like to ask you the similar question. How do you describe the latest condition of the edutech scene in your region and the world, and as well as your positioning inside the scene? So, yeah.
Sure. I mean, if we think about edtech globally and we start thinking about spend, I think historically very little spend was done from a budgeting perspective on kind of the digital aspect of education. However, we've seen that trend change over the last few years. That transformation is happening, I think, really fast. If you want to take a case study of how fast that transformation is happening, I think we can look at what happened in Saudi in the last few years. Like my colleague mentioned, Saudi, especially post-COVID, the spend on digital transformation was really massive. And it's noticed in a lot of aspects, specifically if you look at education. The government responded by providing a lot of online platforms that incorporate a bit of AI learning. And also I think the ecosystem and entrepreneurs started creating companies, edtech companies specifically, that are also doing well. Some of them expanding beyond Saudi Arabia to neighboring countries and expanding into other countries, for example, in Central Asia. So I would say that's the first point I would like to make. The second point is, of course, this massive transformation in edtech requires building blocks. And I think we have to be careful when we start thinking about those building blocks to make sure we don't create a digital divide. If we look at a lot of the edtech platforms that we've seen that came to market recently, it's easy for us to think, they're great, they're serving our needs, whether it's language needs, cultural needs. Education is very personal. We want to teach our children in specific ways, specific cultural norms, right? But we have to remember that those language models that are powering those edtech platforms also, have been built according to what is available. So if we think of language models that are built in English, it's a bit easier. There are big, large, powerful companies that were able to develop those models. If we take the case of Arabic, there were tremendous efforts in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia over the last few years to make sure that we have enough data that's curated, that is positioning the ecosystem to go and create those platforms and products. So I think to summarize, EdTech is on the rise. It's exciting. However, we have to really be careful about the necessary recipes that are required for it to come about in a fruitful way.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to ask you the next question to the Dr. Singh. What is your opinion about the relationship between the AI and youth independence?
So if we think about independence in terms of economic independence, personal independence, we can make the case easily that, of course, AI will help people prosper. That's the general assumption. If you're, somebody younger who wants to start a business, you have some ideas in your mind that you want to execute, I think AI is showing us that, that's doable. We have agentic AI that people can take and do stuff with it. Now, on the other hand, if we think about independence in terms of how we think, this is where we have to take a step back and think about what is AI really doing. Because at the end of the day, AI is really capturing specific narratives, incorporating the biases that we have that people will still have to face.
Thank you. I'd like to ask you the same question to the Professor Kawakami. What is your opinion about the relationship between the AI and youth independence?
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, my reaction is almost same as the previous comment. I think adolescents, boys, girls, and high school age very important period for psychological development. And chatting with the AI may help the adolescents to cope with the stress and the loneliness, and also the acquire the necessary psychological skills to what healthy development. But let me introduce the story from the science fiction novel, Diamond Age, written by Neil Stephenson in 1995, about 30 years ago. The story is about the interactive electric booklet driven by advanced AI called the Primer. That was developed to educate a young girl in a deeply personalized way. That Primer taught girls reading, logic, and martial arts, interestingly, and also survival skills through fairy tales tailored to their real life. However, there are two versions of Primer. The original version had a human actor behind the system who interacted with the girl user with empathy and love. The other one is the copy of the first one without a human actor. A girl educated by the original Primer developed in a healthy way, but other girls did not. So this is just a fiction, but however, lesson might be that we should never forget the importance of the real human interactions, which involves empathy, care, and love. Thank you very much.
Okay, so then for the next, Mr. Yazid, can you share with us how your organization uses generative AI in finding solutions, and how you implement this to educate and train your employees?
Absolutely. So basically about a year ago, we've launched a Roshn AI assistant, which is internal generative AI agents. And this serves not only the technology sector, but actually it serves from HR, from legal, commercial, and marketing. And we've seen a high demand on of our employees are using those products. And for example, we have the marketing team. Every picture, every video that today we go to the market with, it's AI generated that you see today. And if we see the HR, for example, we receive over 20,000 CVs every time we open a new job on the market. And how do you think we're going to go through this and basically evaluate every single CV? So we have those agents today doing the job on our behalf of our employees. They're being filtered, they're being assessed, and so on. And also another great use case, we've seen it with the commercial team. Every RFP that we go to the market with, it actually goes through its assessment, financial requirements, and everything using the AI agent that we're creating. With all this demand with AI agents that we have in-house, we basically started a new department called Digital Adoption. And this department just focuses on the number of adoption of use cases. Are people using those agents? And what are the use cases? And how they can make them use them more in a beneficial way, which to help them on a day-to-day tasks. So our goal here is not about to roll technologies as much as we can, but to foster and make sure that we have a digital empowerment within the organization.
Okay, so then before we conclude this session, I'd like to ask you, all of you, the same question, which related to this Thema Week. What should humans learn in the era of AI? I'd like to ask you to the Dr. Farhad at first.
Thank you very much that you started with me, because I think that from our research, there is a lot of lessons learned that we captured from our previous experience with the previous technology. And we were really shocked with the global survey that I mentioned and my colleagues mentioned that covers 35,000 participants. Also showed very striking facts about AI, that it was really shocking for us, and maybe it will be shocking for you. 70% of the people, they know what is AI, and they can describe AI as the Oxford Dictionary can describe it. And they believe it's force for good. And 60% they use it on their daily basis, on their daily task. And 45% they will allow their children to learn from AI-generated teacher. And 42% consider AI-generated physician to diagnose their health. So up to this, with all the optimism of the AI and how we are engaging with AI. The paradoxical fact that also we have is that 70% of the same people, they support pausing AI developments until we have regulations. So what is the lessons that we should learn from our previous engagements? AI is a newborn of technology, but is the continuation of the internet, social media, online gaming. So it's a technology, it's a new technology. And also we often seduced with a new technology with its possibility, to the positive impact of this technology, without looking at the probability of the impact, the negative impact of this technology. And one of the, I would say, challenges or lessons learned is the lack of regulation. And the consideration here is that we need really to consider policies and regulations that govern AI in every step, from the design to the developments to deployments to use. Second is AI in all generations, technologies and digital technology lack the research. Research I think that we need also to give more time for research to investigate and explore the potential harm and the potential benefits from AI before deploying this to the society. Third is that we need to integrate the human-centric design, design to help develop AI to be a force for good for the individuals, and to integrate digital well-being in every step of the AI developments. And more importantly is to have this accessible to everybody, is to avoid the inadequate accessibility to the technology that happened with other digital technology platforms. So in Sync, we are working with our partners to tackle these challenges, and we are keen to working with all the AI stakeholders, be it the developers or the policymakers or the researchers or subject matter experts, and emphasizing the importance of integrating digital well-being and on the AI design and AI developments and deployments and use, and to prepare people to use the AI in a more of a hygienic way to safeguard their their well-being, and to help them also to maximize the benefit of the AI and minimize the risk and undesirable practices. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to ask you, Professor Kawakami, for the same question. Could you talk about that? Yeah.
Thank you very much. Oh, sorry. Thank you very much. All the discussions are very inspiring, so I'm learning a lot. But in relation to my talk today, I think we should learn the fact that the use of AI may affect on your shape of mind, which means the psychological function. So using the AI, you are affected by, your mind is affected by and shaped by the somehow differently. So I think we need more research, and also we need more awareness of that. The broader view, I think we should think of the more fundamental questions by help of AI, such as what is the human being? What is the meaningfulness of existence of yourself? Probably this cannot be done with the current version of AI, but in the future, the advanced philosopher AI may help us to think about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So then the question goes to Dr. Roshn, please.
So when we think about us humans, what should we learn right now? I can say, what are the things that I'm not excited to learn about? I think we're less and less excited to learn about things that AI can easily do or should easily do. I think if you take my field of software engineering and computer science, AI is doing a lot of great things. I think that's great. I think we should embrace that. And if you ask me what are the things that I want to learn about, I think it's the things that makes us a bit more human. So it's going to be an important question, especially when we think about people, how they plan their careers, their jobs, income, learning becomes an important component of this. But more and more, I think we should focus on what makes us more human.
Thank you. And then finally, my question goes to the Mr. Algamdi, please.
So I believe in the era of AI, we truly differentiate ourselves from what machines cannot replicate. I mean, the esteemed panelists here have mentioned a few of them, like judgment and creativity, emotional intelligence. So I do see that we can go beyond basically what digital literacy and technology fluency. We need to understand how to collaborate with AIs rather than just use it. I mean, the softwares, the agents are all out there. It's easy to use, but I think we need to learn more how to collaborate and get the most out of it. For example, in Roshn, we envision smart communities to be human-centric, to be human first, rather than technology first. With all the initiatives that we're rolling out today, from the gamifications, from the AI for well-being, they're all designed to augment life rather than replace it.
Thank you. Mr. Al-Gamdi, Dr. Hussain, Dr. Al-Beahi, and Professor Kawakami, I'd like to thank you all for joining us today, for the all insightful and valuable contribution to our session today, Gamification Future Prospects. I'd like to conclude this session by stating the following highlights from this session. What should human learn in the era of AI? From the Dr. Hussain, to thrive in an AI-driven world, we must combine the critical thinking, creativity, emotional intelligence, and digital literacy with a lifelong learning mindset to responsibly harness technology and shape an inclusive, human-centered future. In the meantime, Professor Kawakami said that understanding the complex interaction between human mind and AI is essential, as its influence on our psychological processes and behaviors may reshape human nature itself, underscoring the need for deeper research and conscious, responsible use. Dr. Beahi talks about the rise of the AI demands not only technological proficiency, but a renewed focus on the human strengths, such as empathy, critical thinking, and ethical reasoning. While Schenk's global initiatives highlight the urgent need to integrate digital well-being, human-centric design, and governance into the AI development to ensure equitable, safe, and psychologically healthy use, especially for the vulnerable and AI-native generations like Gen Alpha. And finally, Mr. Al-Gamdi talks that our greatest skill will be learning to partner with intelligent systems with surrendering a human purpose. We must move from digital literacy to digital fluency, knowing when, why, and how to work with AI. We must design communities, platforms, and gamified experiences that augment human connection, health, sustainability, and civic participation. At Roshn, every digital initiative, from community challenges and well-being trackers to AI-enabled urban services, is built on the simple belief: the smoother the technology, the more human our communities must become. Finally, game could be a crossroad for all of us and all of our topic, from the AI, smart city, healthcare, and even food education. I hope that games and the gamers and the gamification could be a great thing and contribute to the Japan's future prospects and the Saudi Vision 2030, and then this World Expo Osaka, and the next Expo in the Saudi Arabia. Thank you very much all.